Nature's Cocktail. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful information that you were bringing over to us. I'm loving it. I'm loving this show right now.
Thank
you should come
so
back
much.
more often.
I definitely will. Thank you.
Come back more often and share with us. So
what a lovely invitation.
While off air, you actually told me something about you and you eating some of your cookies. And I want you to share that with everyone listening here about your personal experience having your cookies.
Okay, so this is actually a really cool story because I couldn't find anything on the market that was going to taste good and keep me full and not cause me harm.
Right.
So I went into the kitchen and I did a lot of research and we created this cookie. But when I was working out at Equinox, every morning at 5:30, there was a girl there, her name was Amy, and she was dating a Marine, and she would work out at 5:30 with the kettlebells. She was very serious. And so I remember asking her one day when we were stretching, well, she was stretching more than me, but I remember asking her, what do you eat? Do you snack really healthy? And she's like, well, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll have like a donut or a muffin. I was like, and she's like, yeah, and then like 20 minutes later, I'll have something salty. So, okay, so you asked, so here's the story. So I sat back, and I happen to be an Orthodox Jew. So the way I was raised is that the answer to everything is in the Torah, the Bible. So I said, okay, so how do you stop the craving? Because the craving, 800 calories later, my head is hanging in shame. There's no self-control.
Right.
So I said, well, if you can make something that is, a little bit dense, almost like a scone, and then if it wasn't too sweet, so if you sweet, then you need to go to the salty. That's what she was saying. So I said, so if you just do it sweet enough, with enough fat, your brain is made of fat, so the coconut oil and all the ingredients that we're just going to do well. So when I was going through a particularly difficult time with the hives and the inflammation, and the inside of my body was really cold, the outside of my body, wherever the hives were I felt like there was a lighter. So I remember sitting on the couch. Oh yeah, like the pirate's booty. You open up the bag, and there were like 10 of them in there, and it was not working. So I just threw them all out because 9-10 bags later, I still have a headache and I'm not full. So I started with this cookie, sat on my couch, looked at my watch, and I said, okay, you have 15 minutes till your brain gets the message, we have food. And you need to get 15 bites out of this cookie, just out of the bite. So you take a bite, you sit there, and it actually worked because I was like really wasted because I was in horrific pain. It was like 3 a.m, and it was just, I had saran wrap like on my legs wherever I had a problem. There was the cream and then the saran wrap. It was just like really painful. So I said, okay, this cookie has to work for me, and it needs to keep you full, and you're kind of wasted, so it really needs to do the job.
Right.
So I remember holding my watch and taking bites of the cookie and chewing, and then 15 minutes later, the pot just took my urge away from wanting to rip my skin off my body. But then the cookie actually kept me satisfied, where then I could go and always make a good choice. I will say that there was a period of time when I was really unwell and I couldn't even eat my cookie. I was just on this bone broth for 7 weeks, and in that process I really got an even more extensive education about my body, things that I mean, who knew?
Right.
It's just, and then I started, like I tell people all the time, like they're amazing. Like I just want to hug them, like I love them, but they're still a carb. Like my advice for you would be to always like get a good meal. Try to get a salad. Get your greens. Eat your greens. Like however you're going to get them. It's a drink or a salad or whatever. But if you're going to snack, this is the best. I mean, if I'm not going to eat it, I wouldn't sell it to you. And I say it's the Christian Dior of the food business.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, and also like I've been preparing for these videos because when I started my company, I wanted to make people's lives healthier and happier, but I had to start really researching how people connect because I'm almost 50, so I didn't grow up with this, and even though I have a very good understanding of it, I really wanted to be successful, and I wanted to meet people through my brand. I wanted people to be able to eat the food and know who I am and be like, wow, I heard about it, or wow, I'm going to try it. There's no preservatives, it's healthy, and also give people a platform that they could reach out and autoimmune diseases could not be so scary. We could share information. Then people could get help. How amazing would that be?
Right.
You know, and also if people could like not, including myself as well, you know, not keep taking our bad decisions and our bad choices and validating them. We're hurting ourselves. We're aging faster. It's like you wouldn't go for a credit card with a higher, you know, interest rate and say like, I want to pay 25%, even though someone else will give you 12.999, right?
Yeah.
But we do that with our body. So I figure, let's solve a problem. You know, my friend Jill, who's an amazing therapist, says to me, if you're asking somebody to take out behavior that's not working, you can't leave a void. You got to put something in there.
Yeah.